सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम हज़रत सैयदे वुल्दे आदम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to our MT studios. So no Jalsa is incomplete without its volunteers. And one of the key things that volunteers do is security. And I'm joined here today by Mr. Rizwan Hamid and Dr. Madil Abdullah Sahib. Thank you for joining us today. So we're just going to begin by discussing what exactly the duties are that in the Khidmat-e-Khalq department you've been assigned to. Dr. Rizwan Sahib?
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah for having us. I've been given the task for interior security for the front. We check people as they come inside and check the bags, make sure that there's anything potential hazards that comes inside, just to make sure that we are keeping any unwanted threats outside. And plus, just to greet people as they come inside and meet people, just to be a deterrence. And big role in the interior security, where this main traffic comes in. So, mashallah, we've been having a lot of people coming in, very cooperative people, very flow. Security's been very good, no complaints. Everything's been smooth.
And Dr. Abdullah, you are assigned with outside the traffic, which I'm sure is always is a bit tedious at times.
That's
Can you
right.
talk more about that?
So I'm actually serving as one of the Nazim for the traffic outside. One of the major roles we have is there's a lot of walking from the parking lots to the main entrances. So we do have about 10 golf carts that we transport people from the parking lots all the way to the front entrance. It's quite a lot of walking, so just to make it a little bit easier, we do transport lajna, women, men as well, and Khudam. Whoever needs a ride, we transport them to the main entrance as well.
Okay.
On top of that, we also are doing the parking outside as well, making sure all the cars are parked properly, that there's no issues outside either.
I'm sure this sort of thing requires a very large manpower and a lot of volunteers. So how many what sort of numbers do you have under you working as part of each duty?
So the New York Metro is in charge of the front. So we have the entire New York Metro here. Some from Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, and Long Island compiled. We have about close to 30 khudams on a given schedule, and they're divided into shifts. And we have, throughout the day, they come in 3 shifts. And very dedicated people, fully trained. It took us about a month to study the plans and come up with the plans. My Naib Fiaz, he did tirelessly work on making plans, making sure the khudams are ready to go, making the calls, getting them to commit. It's a bit of a challenge, but we do. This is Allah Ta'ala Jamaat, and eventually we get volunteers. Every shift is covered, and there's always people there. The beginning is a little struggle, but then eventually it works out. And we get the volunteers that we need.
Hazur has spoken at length about the sort of importance that security has, as well as the volunteers have in general. So can you speak about how you've implemented those sort of points and strategies that he's mentioned in his khutbahs in your sort of daily implementation?
Hazur has requested that we should be vigilant at all times. We do that back home, but when we come to Jalsa, since we have a large gathering and we need to man our post, plus it's in our pledge to protect and serve. And just to say, look back and come and stand where we standed. And so far we've seen that a lot of people there's a large team that's been put together for security, and I don't think anybody is not doing what Hazur has mentioned, and mashallah, everybody's doing a very good job in that.
So, as far as security, even I think our team, we're probably the first layer, the outer layer of security, because the first people that the members see when they arrive to Jalsa Salana is probably the traffic team. So, I think we also play a small part as well, as we're the first line of defense in a sense, and we also try to stay vigilant as well and try to, listen and heed Hazur's call also.
Fluidity is always an issue in terms of people usually get frustrated with long lines in terms of traffic with their cars or people coming in with security. So how have you tried to better handle that situation this year in this year's Jalsa?
So I've trained my Qudams to smile. Smile goes a long way.
Yeah.
A person is frustrated for anything. He comes in, he sees a Qudam, smile at him, welcomes him, says Assalamu alaikum to him, respectfully checks him, make sure that if there's any issues, those concerns are met first. We, respectfully, when we check them and while he's being checked, we're very humble with that. And then at the end, we say Jazakallah and let them go. And if there's any concerns, we have told our Qudams not to conflict. We have people in charge for that. But alhamdulillah, we have not had an issue with that. And, a smile goes a long way, and it has. And we've not had any cases where people have been frustrated. Yeah, the lines are long. People do complain. They come and they say. But we nicely request them that this is our job and this is something that is for your own good and for your own safety and for everyone else's. And then they understand and then they move on.
Adil, I'm sure standing outside for long hours,
Sure.
Sometimes morale is affected because of the heat. So how do you sort of better gauge your workers for that or volunteers for that?
So it's definitely, throughout this weekend, it's been 90 degrees at times Fahrenheit. It's very warm outside. Yeah. It's very hot, and it's very easy for tempers to flare, people to get, a little anxious. So number one, we stay hydrated. That's probably the most important thing. Number two, what actually Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya has been doing is they've been sending out, small tidbits via Telegram or via, online, recent Hazur's sermons or points about Jalsa Salana and what we can do as far as security, as far as other things that just kind of keep in mind. So on our downtime, when we're not busy, we try and look through those, try to discuss those points as well. So that's something really positive coming out of the administration.
Just one final question. Hazur has mentioned how volunteers are undergoing this form of silent tabligh in a sense that their conduct how they show themselves to people that are coming in as volunteers really goes a long way in showing how Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya is in terms of how compassionate and love and brotherhood is, not just for our guests that are attending, but our non-Ahmadi guests that attend. So how do you sort of inculcate that in your workers in terms of having them conduct this form of silent tabligh?
Well, I would have to say that if we're standing and we're volunteering and we're dedicating our time, instead of coming in and just wandering around and not doing the other activities, it tells that we're dedicated, we're responsible, and I don't think anywhere else there's anywhere that this is conducted in such a way. And when people hear this and they see this, like I've done ziyafat in my time too, and when I tell people that we cook for this many people, they get astonished and they be like, wow, we haven't seen. The hotel that I'm staying in, the people, they were saying that, oh, we never have anything like this, that we wait 5 times and just think about life. And he was addressing to 5 daily prayers, and he's like, we just have barbecue and then that's it. So he's like, we should have. So it's like a hunger. They want something like this, and we should be fortunate enough to be part of it.
Jazakallah so much to both of you, and Jazakallah to all the volunteers that are helping out and making this Jalsa such a successful event.